to the second speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Abdulhaq Senaqji from the Department of Economics, Faculty of Business and Finance of Utah Kambah campus. Currently, he is head of the postgraduate program PhD Economics at Utah. He was appointed as head of the program Postgraduate Studies from the year 2017 to 2018. He obtained his PhD from University Science Malaysia USM in 2013 with a thesis titled Vulnerability to Poverty, a study of rural population in Kelantan and Terengganu, Malaysia. He received his Master of Economic Management in 2008 from the same university and a bachelor's degree in economics in 2003 from the University of Algiers. He was awarded the USM Fellowship from 2010 to 2013 and has served as an academic researcher for that period. His research interests include energy economics, developmental economics, housing economics, health economics, employee creativity and innovation, and organizational culture. Dr. Abdulhaq Senaqji has been involved in various research grants and consultancy, national and international. Dr. Abdulhaq Senaqji has published widely in various local and international refereed journals, WOS, Scopus, chapters in books, and research papers. Now, without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Abdulhaq to deliver his sharing with the title, Searching for the Job That Fits Your Life and Career, an Effective Job Search.
Thank you very much, Miss. Okay, let me share my slides first. You can see my slide, right?
Yes, Doctor, I can see.
You are seeing the presenter version or the viewer version?
Viewer.
The viewer, right?
Yep. Maybe you can try to move your slides first, so to prevent any. Yeah. Okay. It's moving. It's working fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming to this series of talks. We have enjoyed the first session where we learn about the importance of economics. Yes, I'm also from the Department of Economics, so I understand what Ms. Lee was sharing. So we change a little bit the gear we go for how you are going to use your skills and abilities. So how you are going to search for the job that really fit your life and career. So actually, I'm going to share with you some of the tricks where mostly job seeker employ or use while searching for job. So before we get started, we have to put in our mind there are three things we are looking for, which are how do you know what job you are best suited for? Maybe sometimes we think that we are fitted for a certain job, but actually we are not. This is because maybe we don't have the skills and the abilities. Maybe we don't have the patience for that particular job. Or maybe we are even not fitted for it psychologically or physically. So the first thing is that we need to know what best or what is the best job that fit for us. The second, where you can find it. And the last, how do you network without feeling nervous? So the success of any one career depends actually on the ability to recognize the job-related values that are important to the individuals as well as the hiring company. Because if you do not value the job that you are doing, you may not going to give all your best. At the same time, the company may not even benefit from hiring you. For that reason, where we have that process or two-way process where you need to submit your CV and at the same time, you need to have an interview. That interview that will decide if you are fitted to that job or not. So before any search of your job, you need to put in your mind that you must have the SMART goal to develop a plan that keep you on track in searching your job. What is this SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time frame within the allocated time or the time that you have. So when we talk about the specific, so if you have a very vague goal, it will result for a very vague also result. I will give you an imprecise or not a precise search tools. So in order to be specific, you need to set some of the criteria. First of the thing is that you may find a list of the potential target companies. I want to be, for example, a financial economist. So what are the companies that could offer this opportunity? So how you get them, you may identify and reflect those companies using LinkedIn profile, Facebook announcement, newspaper, colleagues, friends, whatever. So you need also to identify your talent and abilities. Do I have the talent and ability actually to be a financial economics or no? So that is really important, because even if you have a desire to, pursue that job, but you don't have an ability, it doesn't make sense. So after that, you need to update your LinkedIn profile or your CV or resume, and also other social media, because later I'm going to tell you why. It's really important to update your social media profiles, especially the professional one like LinkedIn. So also you need to get ready to respond to an interview question that are frequently posed. Most of the time they will tell you, why do you want to join this company? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What the value added you could bring this company. So there is a way how we are going to answer that. We will see it later. So that is for specific. The second one is measurable. So your goal must be measurable, means that you can have or you can quantify it. So how many, for example, business are you looking at, to add to your target list? Or how many companies? How is, or what the number of application would you like, to send each week? I still remember when I applied my first job, I sent over 40 applications. That was my target. I got from these 40, 4 offers. So I can choose which one is the best. So don't think that you send one and you will get it. So how many new contacts would you like to make each week in LinkedIn? Because that contact actually will help you to search for a new job. You can stay motivated by exactly, for example, setting quantifiable goals and enjoy the victories along the way, because you can hold yourself more accountable and you will feel like you are progressing by doing so. The third one is your objective must be achievable or attainable. So you make sure that your objective for the job search are doable and practical, so you can do them. For example, you set an aggressive goals, but you make sure they are sensible ones. You need to be aware that some aspects of your sale are out of your control. For example, you have no control over how quickly the hiring manager will respond to your email, or to send you an email telling you that you are, listed for an interview. But when you list those things that you achieve, for example, how many application you have applied and how many interviews that you have received, you will feel more successful actually, even that you don't get the job, but it will increase, or we say, your positivity, I can say. Again, your goal must be relevant, means that you need to keep your objective, congruent with the result you hope to attain. So you want to be a financial economics, do not go and apply for a marketing, manager. You may not have the skills, right? And the last one is very important, is time bound or time framed, where you set a goal for each of the things you want to do, because this will help you feel accomplished along the road and the journey and maintain your motivation and attention. So if your job search, you put for it like 6 months, make sure that the amount of application that you want to apply is that enough for 6 months, so you don't overload yourself. So now you already listed what are the companies that are, for example, good for your or fit to your job search, and you put your abilities, your skills aside, and you want to see now if you are going to compete, because remember that you are not only the one is going to apply for this job, but there are thousands of people that are applying to the same position. So you need to develop a certain type of skills that actually employers look for in job candidates. I listed 11 that I really believe that they are a must. So I can tell you from my experience, the first 5, you have to have them. You must. 6 plus 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you have them, that would be perfect. But also you can gain them over the period that you are in the company. So the first thing that actually employers look for is communication skills, because the employers desire team members who can successfully interpret what is being asked of them, as well as effectively communicate with others, share their ideas, explain their ideas. Second, leadership skills. Why? Because leadership skills, put you, a type of person that has an active listening, dependent, ability to give and receive feedback, and patient. So that is very important, because remember, it will lead us to the third quality, which is teamwork skills, because you are going to work with people, especially those, or we say multinational companies or corporation, is all about teamwork. So when we talk about the teamwork, an example is to highlight your collaboration, your honesty, communication, and responsibility when doing work. Then you have interpersonal skill, where employers actually look for skills that include motivation, flexibility, and empathy. Especially in terms of flexibility, you have to be flexible. Sometimes the work will be too much, and you need to adopt with that situation. You have another one, learning skill or adaptability, just now, as I say. And this is very important because if you are not willing to learn something new, then you are not going to progress. So example of learning skills include collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. Then you need to have self-management skills, where good self-management skills is when you have a time management, organization, and self-motivation. Then you have organizational skills, where you have some qualities like planning, critical thinking, attention to details, conflict management. Remember that always you will have conflict with your colleagues, whatever. You are not alone in a company. Now, nowadays, a digital technology is a must. When we talk about digital technology, I'm talking about advanced technology. I'm not talking about basic computer skills like how you use Excel or Word or PowerPoint. That is become basic, but unfortunately, until now, we have seen that even some of our students, they really do not, know about how to use Excel. Well, that's very, it's not good. It's not good, I can say. So when I'm talking about digital technology, I'm talking about skills include user experience design, the coding, programming, web and app development, content creation, data analysis. Not necessarily to be an expert, but at least you have some knowledge. Nowadays, you can find a lot of, you will find a lot of online courses free of charge, where they teach you how to do programming using Python, using R, or using C++, or different other languages. So remember to at least have one of these skills, at least programming, content creation, data or big data analysis, coding. Then we have problem-solving skills, because all companies, they have problems and they need to solve them. So here, when you have these problem-solving skills that include, for example, communication, decision-making, research skills, innovative way how to identify problems and find solution for them, that makes the value added for the company, because you save them time and resources. Number 10, strong work ethic. Having a great work ethic ensures you can complete your task and manage your work effectively, even when no one is regularly checking your progress. And most of these multinational companies and corporate, they do that. So I don't need to come and survey you or put CCTV for you 24 hours. So you must have a strong work ethic. You have a work, you need to do it. So that's some companies, even now, they give flexible time. For example, in my university in Utah, we have flexible time. The most important, you do your classes, you do your research, you complete your task, not necessarily to be from 8 to 5 inside campus. And another one, which is analytical or quantitative skills, where you should have the ability to identify a problem, investigate, to find out relevant facts, and find logical solution for problems. So these are the 11 skills. At least make sure that you have 6 of 11, over 50%. There are also other skills that are also important, but for my experience, from my perspective, those are the most, top 11 skills employees are looking for candidates. So where employer actually look for these skills, how they know that you have these skills? First of the thing, you put them in your resume. So you can list your skills in bulleted format and include a brief description to provide an example for each skill that you have. You can also incorporate and mention of your skills throughout the experience section, in your resume. So what you have done in previous companies, how you solve problems, you know, that kind of things. Also, some of them, they provide a cover letter with the resume, where your cover letter should include a mention of 2 to 3 of your most, you know, marketable skills. For example, from this level, you have 3 most, you know, strong skills. So as they relate to the job you are applying for. So you include these skills in a body of your cover letter, as well as an example of each of how you have used those skills in your previous experience and how these skills help you to develop yourself. Another one also, they will look, employers look for these skills in your or when they call you for interviews. So a job interview is a great time for you to openly talk about your marketable skills, you know, and provide an example of how actually you have used your skills in the past. And also always remember, when you're in interview, try to mention and explain all the skills that are relevant to the position that you are applying for. So for example, I have communication skills, how I use these skills in the position that I'm applying for, and give an example of successful stories or experience in previous work. So before I continue, then I would like to suggest to read these 2 books in order to build a resource system. So in your resource kit, you could include reference book on the job search, and these 2 books that I recommend. What Color Is Your Parachute, 2020, the edition, is highly recommended because it will teach you from A to Z how to save for a job, how to attend an interview, how to design CV or resume. Then you have the second cover letter for dummies. Also, you need to read it. Then you need to have a briefcase, you need to have a leather portfolio and a notepad holder and a business attire appropriate for a job you are seeking when you go for an interview. You don't go like hip hop, you know, it does not show a really good image on you. And you need to be a bit professional. So I will skip these 2 slides talking about the books. You can find that yourself. So I would like to tell you that try to plan the searching job period in 30-day plan, 1 month. So you put a calendar, you list all your interviews that you schedule for 1 month, for example, because you are applying applications. So on days you do not have interviews, what you do, you need to indicate this time to acquire interviews. You go fill up what we say surveys for or forms to apply for jobs, walk into the companies or the work site and tell them if they have any opportunity. So this you do it when you don't have interview. When you have an interview, that day you have to stay and prepare for that, because preparing for an interview is very important, even though that it is not our time to talk about it. But I can tell you 70% of the job application success is from the job, the interviews. So each time you complete an interview, write down your area of strength and weakness in your performance, how you have performed. So remember also that question is very frequently asked when you go to interview. What is your strength? What is your weaknesses? So what are the key that let you get a job in a competitive industry? Because as I told you that you are not alone, but there are so many people there applying for the same position. So the first thing is recognize and change your existing perspective. Don't think that, oh, I need just to go for a low profile companies because I don't think that I can compete. Always this will alter your point of view. So you need to allow yourself to comprehend and understand the notion that the sector that you are choosing to work most probably is a multi-billion-dollar business. For example, if you want to work as a financial economist or an analyst, a financial analyst, and you want to choose a multinational corporation like Dell or HP, that is a multi-billion business. So don't undermine yourself. And second thing is there must be a strong desire to work in order to secure a job. So most successful people will tell you that they have sacrificed, they have worked very hard. They work for less money. They work longer time and done so many things only to just get their foot in the door and prove themselves. Means that I just need to get an experience and to show off myself. So making these sacrifices is actually, a key to your success. It will prepare you for the next person that you would be. The third one is you will need the talent, skills, and abilities that will allow you to do the responsibility assigned to you. So there is no point if you have a strong desire to work, but you don't have the talent and skills to do that job. So that doesn't make sense. You want to be a journalist, but you don't have the skills of journalism. So whatever field you choose to pursue, you will need abilities that will allow you to do the responsibilities assigned to you. You must continuously practice your talent and develop them. Try to learn every day new things. A very simple thing is an accumulation. Remember, a huge fire started from small sparks, and same for knowledge is an accumulation. Today I learn simple thing, and tomorrow I add a little bit until you have a lot of things. Remember, knowledge is an important factor to have. Just now, Ms. Lee also keep emphasizing on knowledge in economics. So why this is accomplished simply by using all of your data, your materials that are accessible to you, and most importantly, being humble enough to ask for assistance, because you need, if you go to a new job, you don't know about the culture, so you need to ask those people how to do the things, or they show you the way. So knowledge is the key, that linked to severe humility and or to say and to you must prepare to ask for assistance in order to attain the job you want. So it is also crucial to remember that everyone who works in your preferred industry felt the same you did at some time when you get a new job. So they didn't know where to start, and I believe it, maybe it would be hard for them, or maybe even if it is impossible, to get to work. But remember, most individuals are eager to help you and to advise you in order to choose your career or to pass that period. So what are the steps in finding your job? First, you may start with 5 to 10 target companies. As we say, just now we list your companies. So maybe, for example, you can use Google, where you put the name of the firm, the job, and zip code or location. Another area is where you select an industry type in the area used in LinkedIn business search, and look for the firms that employ individuals in your sector. You can also use other systems like job search website, like Indeed, like others, in order to locate those opportunities. Second, you search the target companies. So you make use of, as I say, for the LinkedIn contact where you want to work. If you want to work in the financial industry, make sure that you have so many friends or contact in LinkedIn that relate to that area. So you need to know what are the rules and how are related to your job or your potential job are related to them. Investigate people with your contact who may provide you guidance and information about the firm. So you need to use several methods to do in their business search. So in order to get people to communicate with you, you must look educated and preferably engaging, means that you start a discussion, a debate with them. So that one is really helping. I have so many contacts that I receive in that way. some they really it's work for them. Many people they said that they have succeeded securing a job in LinkedIn. Another one is you into a company, you have to do a search for the company because it's very crucial stage, because if you haven't done your homework completely, you may turn off the employer and you miss your chance. So at this level, for example, excellent written and verbal communication skills are required, because you need to make sure you have developed a connection before asking, for example, for references, where people, they give you references from very high profile people, which is really help you to get the job. So people will not simply give you the references, but you need to show them that you are capable of that. So you need to make an effort to persuade the employer to meet you also in person and to show him that skills. You show him that you know about their company, what their company want, what their company business target or business type, their customer target, what their vision with what is their missions. So when you tell them all these things that you know about their company, you show that level of interest, and they will be happy. So develop a personal relationship, as I say. Remember, virtual networking in social media is very essential, but yet it often results in relatively superficial interaction. Sometimes only hi, how are you? Nice to connect with you and finish. But remember, personal networking is how individuals actually connect and help one another. So you should always strive to refresh and improve the existing connection while also looking to initiate a new one. Another one is the last use of social media is in your advantage. Social media has become a part of our life. No matter how much research you do, you will never find all the available career opportunities. So what is why it is very crucial to make, yourself visible to those who are looking for a person like you that who has the skills and experience. Spend time enhancing your LinkedIn profile in a regular basis. Spend time maybe creating a blog to yourself, a website, a personal website. Achievement. Why? Because those companies actually they use some of the system to track you. So the best kept secret on hiring is that employers or those who are looking for people to work with them or to work in their companies, they never tell you this secret. The first one is they cyber stalk you as much as they can. Remember, when you send your CV straightforward, they go to your Facebook, LinkedIn, they do a Google search. They want to know more about you, not only as a person that he has skills, but also they will see, what you posted in Facebook, in TikTok, whatever, in LinkedIn or in Twitter. That will help them to give them a general idea about psychological situation, condition, about your behavior, attitude, about your interests, about your intellectual level. So they will not tell you that, but they will search for you, trust me. The second is your personality will make or break your chances. So employers frequently make final hiring, as I say, decision based on which applicant they like the most as a person when they interview them. So they will frequently ask themselves, with which candidate do I have the best chemistry, for example, or with whom do I get along with the best? Who candidate that can give an extra to our or to his co-workers? So this is why during the interviews, your objective should not be simply demonstrate the interviewers that you are the greatest candidate on the position because you have all those skills, but you should also make an effort to establish a rapport with them. The ultimate aim is for them to like you as a person, as you are, not only as what they have seen in your CV. So also, number three, you can check their hiring software. That's why I'm telling you. Actually, they have software. They use it. We call it the ATS, the automatic tracking system. So during the earliest phases of the recruitment process, most of these big firms like Google, Microsoft, HP, they employ the applicant tracking system, okay, the HES, to screen your CV. So they don't want you to know that you can trick their program. Actually, you can do it. How? I will show you later. So most recruiting systems search for certain keyword on your resume. For example, I want, for example, this person to be, for example, very good in communication skills, or very good on startup, or in Python. So if you can find these keywords, but of course, you cannot just put the keywords that you don't have. So if you can find these keywords and put them in your CV, automatically this, what we call the applicant tracking system, will put you in a high rankings, because after they will rank. So there is a way how to hack this system. Later in a few coming slides, we will see that. So also there are no right and wrong answer to open-ended question. Most of the time, they will ask you, are you extrovert or an introvert? What kind of work environment do you thrive in? What are your most significant strength and weakness? This is very common, question. So don't deceive yourself by the fact that they are right or wrong question. You just say what actually, you need to say. So recruiters are these questions actually to determine if you will be a good match to the job position and the company work culture. So if you say anything that is not in line with that, the interviewer actually want to hear, your chance of being employed will be reduced drastically. So when you talk about, for example, weaknesses, try to talk about weaknesses that you can transfer them to a strength. You never talk about a weakness that it will never change. That means it will be a weakness forever. Please don't do that. So also, they always lower your salary or your initial offer. So always make sure that you do a very good search in internet to know what actually the competitive wage or salaries for that position. So another thing, qualities that you will get you higher, no matter the job, is on authenticity. You must be credible, otherwise there is no way even you have skills and abilities. Positivity, where you will score an excellent point if you utilize phrases like absolutely astonishing, for example. Try to don't use negative words like horrible or other things. So actually recruiters like to hear something like, for example, you tell them, I would like to work with, I would love to add, something like that. You need to be confident. For job seekers, like, your confidence is essential, because employer associate confidence with smart. If you are confident, that means you are smart. So yet for a job seeker, it stems from a concentration and a preparation of that confidence. So only apply for employment that you think and you believe that you are a good match and you really can provide. So you are confident on that. Patient, where you attract employer by those qualities that, for example, you energize them, you are optimistic, you are passionate. So you need to demonstrate your excitement, speak about your desire to further your career. For example, demonstrate your excitement to the firm interviewing you. For example, you say that I'm excited to contribute. I have always been interested in working with this company. The team interviewing me would be a pleasure to work with. I would want to give a value and boost the engagement for the company, and something like that. Then you have an impact. If you want to impress a potential employee, you must highlight your achievement, not just also say I'm good in that, but you give a concrete evidence, numbers, data on your achievement. And last one is gratitude. So remember that somebody assists you in your job hunt, try to thank them, as explained previously. Then how to be the personality higher at your job is personality is important, but it's not everything. The concept of real personality higher, someone with no skills and body, doesn't make sense. You must have a personality and skills. So personality can tip the scale during the hiring process. When you have the skills and you have a good personality, that will put the what we say, the opportunity to your side. Because during interview, your sense of overall communication style and likability will all play a significant role. In fact, even if you don't satisfy all of the job requirement completely of the skills, but you show that you have the best personality, that may actually put you in favor rather than others. So those are some of the what we call personality attribute that you need to acquire: professionalism, reliability, leadership ability, friendliness, confidence, intelligence, trainability, empathy, self-awareness, kindness, integrity. So as I say, why you get rejected from the job you are qualified for? Because for certain level. For example, first, it is beyond your control. You know, some people are rejected because someone more qualified being considered. I know many organizations actually now have an intended candidate, but they just post, you know, the job interview just because the law forced them. So they already have someone. So don't be turned down. Another thing, that you may have a mismatch that has nothing to do with your qualification. Perhaps there is another mismatch between you and the employer that has nothing to do with qualification. Another thing, your application doesn't reflect your qualification. So as I say, that organization, they are using this application tracking system. When you prepare your CV, you didn't put the keyword that system want to capture. So it will not put you in the list, that they will not take your CV. Don't think that all HR manager will read all the CVs. Impossible. So the last one, you are not actually qualified as you believe, means that you don't have qualification, you don't have required skills. So you need to do more work. You need to learn and update yourself in order to get those skills. So how to avoid being turned down a job you are qualified? First, as I say, have someone else go to your application. Before submitting any application, have your colleague, your friend, your brother, your sister, your father, anyone that have experience that can may be a certain thing clear to you. You know, some of the things not clear to you, but it's clear for them. So co-workers, friend can provide this valuable concept. Remember that to keep the, as I say, the applicant tracking system in your mind, because this ITS is important whether you are even evaluated for the post, or keep in mind all the time. Why? Because as I say, the keyword there are very important. For example, if we go to, after we show you an example, in Indeed, this application system, what we call ATS, you go there, type the search, the job come to you, you want to apply for a job, see what are the description of the job, put that keyword in your CV. That system will capture your CV as a high ranking or high potential. So look for connection in the company, I will explain. And also do not forget to follow up always. Even when you send a CV, you cannot or you did not receive any reply, you follow up. Ask the HR, the managers, have you received my CV? If you turn down, for example, they say we reject you, thank them and tell them that you are also still, you know, interested to work with the company. Who knows? Sometimes they have an urgent vacant, then they will call you. So this is what I'm telling you. For example, I go to Indeed, this system. I put find job, I put financial, for example, manager. It comes, it will list it for 100 of job. For example, I took this payroll manager. Then you see here on the side, it will give me, you know, some of, let me put the pen. It will give me some of the description, right? Some of the descriptions. So you read here, for example, they want management account, put this word, they want someone to be submitted on time. That means you have time management. Analysis, that means you have analytical skills. So those are, you know, the keyword. You just read here what actually they want for description, and you put these keywords, you know, and in your CV. So when the system, they give them or they rank for them the CVs, he will put yours at the top. So you will get a chance for an interview, and when you get a chance for interview, 70% you are there. So that's, it will remain only as up to your capabilities and your performance in interview that you get the job or no. So this is what they use, what we call the ATS, and how you hack it actually is not illegal but legal. So another thing is, the trick to beat this ATS robot or system is you need to tailor your CV to a specific job description. Do not keep the same CV for all jobs. Each job, tailor your CV based on that keyword that I'm talking about. Then match your resume, with that keyword of the job. Then format the CV correctly, because why? Some of the format are not compatible to the ATS. So especially when you put these fancy pictures, the front, footnote, don't put them because the system will not detect them. So you choose a very simple format. You can have so many others software that help you to design CVs. Use traditional resumes front, as I say. Do not use headers and footers, and create a strategic and killer CV in advance for application process. Means that with a high level of competition, it is vital to have an outstanding CV that can beat the ATS system. So the last slide, I want to show you that 50% of the job has accounted for this online worldwide. In Malaysia, 60% of job seekers found the online job portals as more successful. Those job portals like JobStreet, LinkedIn, Warp. I have others, where, for example, JobStreet is specialized for Malaysia. You have Indeed. I really recommend that because you will have over 60 countries that post. So if you want to go international. So you have also CareerJet, also based in Malaysia. So you make the process of finding a job interest easier. So really, it has also over 90 countries, and it can have up to 28 language. So others like Monster, maybe later I will ask the committee which share with you the slides so you can see all these, job search engines or the ATS. The companies all, they will buy, or subscription in order for them to retrieve your CV. You are going to put your CV here. So make sure that, as I say, you tailor your CV for each job that you are applying for. So this system will capture your CV and put it in the highest ranking, and you may get the possibility for the job. So I'm not, because I think that I'm exactly 45 minutes. So thank you very much for listening. You have